Welcome to the Mostly Pod Out of the Night. Mostly, I am Graveyard, joined by my co-host Salem.
Hello.
This is episode 177 of our weekly All Things Horror podcast. I hope you have your museum pass. Whether you love the macabre or a good tourist trap or just pop-up wax museums, as that's seemingly a common thing that happens in the 80s for some reason.
I wish it would. That sounds like fun.
Doesn't it? Especially though, like I said, the macabre shows they always have in wax museums, right?
Right. It's like murder and stuff. That sounds fun. Like I would totally go.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But, that makes tonight's episode really is for you. So grab your candles and venture into scenes right out of horror with House of Wax, the original 1953. And no, we don't get to see Paris die.
Not yet.
Not yet. We will. Followed by Tourist Trap from 1979. I didn't realize how old that movie was originally.
I had assumed it was an 80s movie. I didn't look too much into it besides like knowing that there was like a wax museum in it, and that it was a horror movie. Other than that, I didn't know much. I thought it was an 80s movie.
And the cover. We all know the cover, right? That doll-like thing with a mouth agape. And fun fact, though, which I was looking up, I'll just spoil it here. Linnea Quigley was uncredited as one of the mannequins.
Yeah.
And like, oh, that's before.
I was trying to like look for her. I didn't see her. But again, it's 79. She was probably pretty young.
Yeah. And then, of course, the first of the Waxwork one from 1988. And there's a number 2, like Lost in Time, or whatever it's called.
Yeah. And which I was like, how does that make any sense? But after watching this movie, I totally understand what that means.
Yes. So that's our stuff for tonight. Had you seen any of these?
No.
Not even the original House of Wax?
No. Not to my knowledge, no.
I mean, it was shot in 3. You can tell by the ping pong paddle scene.
Dude. The ping pong paddle scene that went on way too fucking long. And then like the dancing girls kicking at the screen that I felt was like 10 fucking minutes long. I'm like, why is this going? I'm like, oh, it's the 3D thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, the ping pong guy. I'm like, why are we focusing on this fucking ping pong guy? Like multiple times. I'm like, who gives a shit about ping pong man? But I guess that was the 3D thing.
And of 1953, yes. And
right.
Yeah, so I'll go over that. Stars Vincent Price as, once again, Vincent Price. He doesn't play characters other than himself. Let's face it.
I mean, why mess with perfection, right?
Exactly. So we are introduced to his character who's working in the wax museum and who businessman is like, hey, you gotta do better here. You have scenes macabre, all that stuff. He's like, I'm gonna try to sell it to these guys. They're gonna give me $20,000, which, remind you, 1953 is what? $500,000 at this point.
It's a lot, yeah.
It's a lot. But essentially, he's like, no, I'm just going to kill you now and take everything for myself. Cool. So he's, they have this.
Well, to be fair, he tried to go halvesies with him first. He didn't immediately jump to murder.
Well, yeah, he's like, let's burn this place down, then we'll get half it. Sure, for insurance fraud, blah, blah, blah. Then he turns to murder and he supposedly dies. And like I said, weird fight. And lo and behold, there's a guy with a wax mask that's going around, capturing people for, almost like a Jack the Ripper-esque style of things, right? Like maybe scarred and just deep, raspy voice. And he kind of goes after his business partner and goes to his house and he ends up hanging him from the elevator and the body disappears along with his lover who he breaks into her house and steals her. And all this is going on there. And like all of a sudden, here's Vincent Price back looking a lot older with a lot more gray and stylish goatee, of course. But he's wheelchair bound. His hands were badly burnt because the guy, tried burning down the wax museum. And he does. But he's just back and he's kind of just like smitten with this young woman who would be the perfect, Joan of Arc?
No, the Joan of Arc is the one that he does with the first one, and then she is going to be his Marie Antoinette.
Yes, that's it. So there's a whole weird love story on there. We have cops kind of being involved, detectives of police. I think it's what the department's actually called. And a guy who's like also is a sculptor and likes to whack. And bear in mind, this is like they said like 1900 or something like that. So early on with the wax
Roundabouts. Yeah,
museum,
they were talking about how cars can't go very fast. So
yet
I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm guessing it's like early 1900.
Yeah, they even point that out there too. It's on my list. um, and all this is kind of going there, like, hey, these people are disappearing. Like, and this girl visits the wax museum. It's like, wow, that kind of looks like my friend. She even has one ear pierced. That's what detail? Like, how did he know that? He's like, oh, I'm just very good at it. Blah, blah. Like, I'm pretty sure that's her.
Well, he said he looked at a picture.
Right, which didn't have it.
Right. Well, it's very simple of being like, oh yeah, I consulted her. Like,
yeah,
it's mystery solved. Like, I don't know why he didn't say something. Like, I don't know. It's very goofy.
Oh, I met her once.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly. Done. Yeah. He's a very good imagination, and he kind of has a strong guy and a deaf mute assistant. The strong guy essentially is the deaf mute, and then he's another guy that's kind of like also like his protege in this wax stuff. But essentially, they're opening up this wax museum. It's like, this is him. Yes, it is. It's the guy and her friend, and she convinces the cops that this is true. And unfortunately, she gets captured and starts to get waxified in his great contraption. The police show up because they capture the Ronaldo or something like that. He's like was in jail, and like, oh, can't go back. Like, yeah, he did it. He killed all these people and made them into wax statues. There's a big brawl essentially at the wax museum, and it ends up with Vincent Price falling into the wax.
Oh, don't forget when his face gets shattered and we find out that his face underneath his perfectly sculpted wax mask that can somehow move with his facial muscles and bone structure somehow shatters like a clay pot, and then he is really the ugly guy, ripper guy underneath.
Yes, that there's a whole lot of suspension of disbelief with his mask. That's very true. And concerning when he talks, his mouth doesn't really move when he's in that burnt phase. Yeah, it's impressive. That's about it. Just so there's the ping pong scene because they're doing 3D stuff. There's the cabaret girls for 3D stuff again.
Yeah, the ping pong guy is supposed to be like the barker for like the new wax museum, and like seriously, the scene with him lasts like 5 full minutes.
Oh, he does tricks. It's the ball and paddles, right? That everyone had growing up. That when the ball broke, my parents used as a paddle to spank me with because I was a bad child, so I never bought them again. But like he's popping into his mouth, he's going like right into people's faces with it.
Right, like you can clearly see he like hits them in the face, like they're flinching away.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he's like bouncing them in his mouth. He's bouncing them like over his shoulder. He's doing like the fucking yo-yo rock-a-baby thing. I'm like, what? Why are we watching?
Not
this?
Very impressive with a string on a ball.
He does it like multiple times. I'm like, what? Why are we watching this? And then I was like, it took me a while to go, oh yeah, that's right. I did see 3D in the beginning of this.
And they let you know. They let you know.
Yeah. And the dancing girls, I don't even remember why they were in a bar with dancing girls. I think it was just an excuse to show them. I don't even know if there was a real reason.
Oh, that's the entire reason.
Yeah,
that's the entire reason. But yeah, you said this is your first time watching. Did you even see the sequel or the remake? I don't think you did either. Did you? Okay.
No, I heard about Paris Hilton, and that's it. That's all I know about it. That's the only thing I heard.
Well, this movie, like I watched before, it's kind of like the Donald Doctor vibes, right? In a way, so it's just a revenge story,
right?
But just slightly different.
Correct.
Yeah. Do you want to go first with your highlights?
Sure.
Okay.
So I mean, Vincent Price is great. I haven't seen a movie yet that I disliked him in. I'm sure there is one. Or several. I just have not seen them yet. But he's great. I like the idea of like wax statues. I think that's like an art form that I think is very cool. I realized that I've never seen any in real life. Like as I was watching these, I'm like, I'm very familiar with them. I just don't think I've ever seen them like in person.
Hmm.
So I should like find if we have any wax museums around and go
There
look at
are.
it. I'm sure, but I got to go do that. But I like the kind of like the bad guy Ripper villain, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
he looks and dresses exactly like Darkman,
Yes, he does.
and he looks almost identical to the Phantom of the Opera. So it's like
Yes.
it's interesting because it's like an equal distance between those two movies. It's like this movie, and like the look has not changed that entire time. It's like a timeless villain look, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was hilarious that they had a 10-minute intermission for a 90-minute movie.
Yes.
Like, I'm like, wow, really? Like, this is how it used to be in the 50s? Like, you had a full 10-minute intermission, like 45 minutes in?
Mm-hmm.
I wish. That's all I got.
Oh yeah, Vincent Price is Vincent Price, and he's great at it. I don't think they can just cover up his face for too much, so they has to have his like actual face. That's why that mask was perfect to his. Um, the set pieces and the whole idea of it is creepy as hell. Like he's like, oh yeah, I can make realistic people that look exactly the same, and I'm a fantastic sculptor apparently, right? Sculptor, and then I'm just going to maybe if you're lucky kill you first before covering you in hot wax, or just trip you live.
Yeah, like when he was talking about how, like, oh yeah, I don't bother knocking people out because, like, as soon as the hot wax touches your body everywhere, like your mind breaks
Yeah,
and you don't feel it anyway. I'm like, wow, dude. Mind breaks is not something I ever want to happen to me from pain.
yeah, like I said, and that's a pretty big thing for 1953, and pretty horrific for it too, right? It's absolutely amazing, and the sets for everything, like the macabre scenes. I would go visit that wax museum for sure. It's very interesting. Now, did he take people through at like a breakneck pace through his entire museum? Like, and here it is, bye.
Yeah, he's like, look at this, look at this, look at this. See you later.
Yep. Yeah. Um, that's what I have. I'll roll into my low points. Obviously, it's the 50s, but man, I'm sure glad I didn't have to go to dance halls to find a woman growing up.
Well, it's also like back then they also like set you up. Like there was no such thing as like a dating apps or anything like that. It was like they had like matchmakers. So
Mm-hmm.
like the whole thing of like your mom finding you a girlfriend was like a real thing. Like
Yeah.
that would happen. Like now it's just a joke. It doesn't actually
Right.
happen.
Yeah.
But back then that was like a for real thing.
Yeah. And the main woman's friend, she was skinny as hell. And that corset, holy crap. Like, I would have hated for people to have to go through that, like the pulled corsets just until you break ribs and collapse lungs. And like that just seems awful. And then
Yeah,
proceeds to put like 8 layers of clothes on. Like,
that's the way it was back then.
I
Man.
know.
Well, not really. That's kind of off for this time period. Like by the time late 1800s, early 1900s, that has been kind of phased out. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it was more in the Victorian era, which is more of like,
1860s.
well, yeah, well, it's like late 1700s, like early to mid 1800s is
Yeah.
more like when that stuff was there. Like they kind of moved away from the corset. Like they still had that style of dress and things, but it was more toned down and it didn't focus so much on corsets back then.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever. I'm sure there was people that still did.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure there's still people in the 50s that actually did it too.
Yeah, Betty Page.
Yeah.
She's in the 50s.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, it got hit by a car. Oh, that would barely do anything. Yeah, cars will be dangerous one day in the future.
Whoa.
I know. I'm like, cool. That was unnecessary. And I said, and the whole mechanics of his wax face that is able to be like a perfect match. and moved every
like
single
I said,
thing.
like it matched his facial muscles and
Mhm.
his bone structure and movement and everything. I'm like, and then it like when somebody slaps him, it breaks like a clay pot. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not gonna work.
Yeah, yeah. But that's what I have. How about you?
Uh, okay, so that like insurance investigation in the beginning, like I can't like wow, like how did he get the insurance money? Like he clearly dumped accelerant all over everything and lit it
Yes,
on fire. Like I mean, it could have been like the worst insurance investigator in the world, and they would have been like, "Hey, I think this is arson."
and
There's no way,
there's 5 points of origin of the fire.
right? Yeah, and a
Yeah.
survivor that would tell you exactly what happened.
Yep.
Um, so the blonde lady that was with the whole corset thing, like her laugh was unnerving. I was like, please stop. Like when she died, I was like, thank you. It was a horrible laugh. We already talked about how the 3D scenes are way too fucking long and stupid.
Yep.
Now I thought it was hilarious where it's like, here's my house of horrors, right?
Yep.
Like here's Jack the Ripper. Here's Joan of Arc being burned at the stake. Here's all of these like famous um you know villains throughout history and famous like historical scenes throughout history, and some random guy that hung himself in an elevator
Yep.
like yesterday. Like doesn't that not strike anyone as odd? Especially considering nobody can find his body, and then like the day after the body disappears, there's now a guy that looks exactly like him hanging in a wax museum. Like nobody clicks that together.
No.
Like the cops are there going like, "Oh yeah, it looks like him." You're the cops. You know the body. What are you doing? Like I don't know. I don't understand. Like she's like obsessed with like, oh, this is my friend, and everybody's like, yeah, it looks like your friend, but it's probably not your friend. Like nobody's like saying anything about this dude hanging in an elevator shaft. Like okay, like, and nobody put together that he personally knew that guy.
He's an investor. Everyone would know he was in business with that guy.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, how did no one figure this out? I guess it's 1953. We're all more naive back then. I don't know.
I guess.
But it was just the House of Horrors and then one random guy, and everybody's like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense."
Mm-hmm.
And then we already talked about the perfect wax mask. That's all I got.
All right. So our out ofs this week are a number of wax dips out of 10 because there's a few number of them, right? Not so much in Tourist Trap, but they're kind of there. So Salem, how many wax dips out of 10 do you give House of Wax 1953?
It is a good movie. It is a fun movie. Would I watch it again? Sure. So we'll do 7.
Yeah, I think you nailed on the head before when you said like you haven't seen a bad movie that Vincent Price has been in. He's always been iconic, and I looked up a little bit more of his history, and it really wasn't until about this time period that he started doing horror movies. It was more drama. It'd be interesting to see him in like a drama. I don't know if I'd be able to take him seriously or not, but this is a great movie. And do I think the new one or the remake is as good? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you no, and I haven't even seen it. So,
but I will give this 7.5 wax dips out of 10. I do enjoy this a lot. So, take us through Tourist Trap 1979, or what little plot there actually is.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot happening here.
No.
But anyway, so there's a bunch of kids that are driving through the desert for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they even get a reason why they are. It doesn't matter. So they're driving through, like, one couple, like, they lose a tire on their car, and the guy, like, starts rolling the tire down the street to go find a gas station. And he ends up finding this, like, just like the movie Tourist Trap, that is kind of a gas station / like diner / roadside attraction. Mm-hmm. And he can't find anybody, so he's like looking around the house, and he gets trapped in this room, and all these like weird, apparently animatronic like mannequins are like giggling and laughing and like jumping out of things and like slapping him and shit and all kinds of weird stuff, and then he dies.
Yes, after a piece by piece of a cabinet throws itself at him.
Right. All this goofy, weird stuff happens, and then he just dies.
Yep.
So then the rest of the friends find the girl that he left behind at the car, and they're like, "Hey, where's your boyfriend?" I don't know. He went to the gas station. Oh well, that sucks. Let's keep going. So they all jump in the Jeep and they all drive down the road and find the same tourist trap. So they jump out, and this time, there's a person there, an old man who is like, "Oh yeah, it's technically still open." Oh wait, hold on. He finds them at the swimming hole because the girls all decide to go skinny dipping. So he finds them. He's like, "I used to charge money to swim in here, but now nobody comes, so I don't charge anything at all." So he says, "Yeah, like there's a big highway that they put in so that no traffic comes down this road anymore. So he used to charge money for all this stuff, and now he can't charge because nobody shows up. So now he just keeps it up as kind of like, he wants people to see it, but he can't charge them because nobody would come if it was money." So anyway, so he's got like a little wax museum type thing. He's got a little diner, a gas station, like, basically jack of all trades, little, side stand thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they kind of hang out there for the evening. And then, long story short here, they kind of one by one go off and do something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't die right away. They get captured and then like tied up in this basement. And then we find out that like there's the old man that they're there, and then there's like this weird kind of I don't know, guy in a mask that talks in this really weird voice.
Let's call him Timu Leatherface.
Right. So he's this really weird voice. And he's like very clearly like looking for a friend and like upset when, people are like doing stuff. But anyway, then he gets all these people tied up in the basement. He decides to dress up. Now, when he is dressed up with that mask on, he looks identical to like a slightly cartoony version of Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like him. The same goofy hair, the face, he looks like a cartoony version of Bruce Campbell. And he's like dressed in a tux and dressed up. Anyway, so he's trying to like, I guess, kill them slowly to make them into mannequins, like cut off pieces of them to like make them into mannequins and somehow make them all mannequins.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that works. Anyway, so they escape, and they get away, and it's like the four of them go back to the old man. The old man says, "Hey, don't go outside at night. Like my brother's around. He might, I don't know, scare you or something."
Yeah.
So of course, again, one by one, they keep going off and doing their own thing. And one by one, they get killed off.
Yep.
And then we basically get down to the last girl, the final girl. He's trying to kill her. It basically turns out like the old man is the brother. The guy wearing the mask is the same old man.
Oh man, what a twist no one saw.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Right. So like it's the same guy wearing a mask and the voice, and he has a telekinetic powers.
Uh-huh. For some reason that's never ever explained.
Right. It's kind of weird because in the beginning they go out of their way to say like, "Oh, my brother was a master of animatronics and he could do all this fancy stuff with animatronics," but then like later on he's clearly doing things that are not animatronic.
Right. So
it just kind of goes off into like, yes, he has magic powers.
Yeah, and that's how the guy died at the beginning, was through the magical powers of being, essentially thrown at him.
Right. So he's got magic powers. So anyway, he's trying to like kill the girl, and like, the guy, the last dude comes in and try to rescue her, and then he like, "Oh, haha, you're a mannequin." Like, I don't know how that works.
But, like he literally ripped pieces off of him and takes
right. Like he was a normal person moving and fighting against them, and then he like rips his arm off, and it's all of a sudden it's a mannequin arm, and now he's just a mannequin. I don't. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe he has psychic powers where he could like make her see things that aren't there. I don't know. Nothing is explained.
No.
But anyway, so she finds out that all of her friends were like turned into mannequins, and she's the only one left. So after she like kind of breaks down into like, I guess, an insanity thing, right? the dude just starts like dancing with his dead wife or a wax doll that he made to resemble his ex-wife. We don't, it kind of doesn't tell you for sure if it's one or the other. But he's dancing around with this thing, and this goofy, kind of song is playing, and she like freaks out and then stabs him and kills him. The girl does. She comes out of her psychosis and stabs him and kills him, and then jumps in the Jeep and brings all of her mannequin friends with her in the Jeep, and they drive away.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Seemingly she's gone completely insane. Yes.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of like weird scenes in the middle. I think they're trying to be like comedic, of like the guy like forcing like the dead people to like hold conversations with him and like eat dinner with him and shit, like weird stuff.
Yeah.
But that's really, add a bunch of those scenes in there, and that's really, there's nothing else that happened.
Correct.
There's not much to it.
Yes, I this is my first time seeing it. I feel like this was trying to be a ripoff of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but like House of Wax.
Oh no, for sure. I mean, that's what this is.
Yeah. And you talk about Bruce Campbell. It's also like the laughing scenes and like the way that their mouths are gaping open. It reminds me of Shelley from the original Evil Dead as well. I'm like, there's like hints of Evil Dead in here too, which is weird.
Well, it's before Evil Dead, so Evil Dead would have taken it from this.
I mean, Evil Dead was made at the same time, just didn't get released at the same time.
Sure.
But I mean, it's impossible they got it from here. I'll go first with my highlights, I guess. It's I understand, like, Rob Zombie loves 70s stuff. I can see him watching this movie and get the idea of the tourist trap for House of Thousand Corpses kind of from this. Of course, that's now like a trope essentially, is that all in one gas station that there's murderers here.
Well, I also think that it's kind of like locked to time, right? Mm-hmm. Because like you're looking at the 50s, 60s, 70s, like there was like roadside attractions. There's like Route 66,
right?
Where like there's all of these things off the road, and all of those things went away. Like literally in the 80s, they like paved over everything and had these super highways that none of those roadside attractions were there anymore. Yeah. I mean, well, they were still there, but they weren't close to the big highways, so they just all kind of died out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some that still kind of survive, but not as cool as they were back then. So it's kind of like locked to that time period. Is like if you go on a trip on a highway from place to place, you're going to pass a bunch of tourist traps, and you go and stop and check them out. Right. Now you don't. Like now, if you go from here to fucking Maryland, it's nothing but highways. There's nothing in between.
There's no mystery spots. There's
nothing fun.
There's no hole that never ends.
Right. Like if you want to, find something fun, you got to go off the road.
Yep.
And go like a couple hours in the wrong direction to find anything cool.
Yeah.
But back then it was just a fact.
Yeah. And he said he has powers. Why does he have powers? I don't know. But he would have had the world's best wax animatronic museum because he was able to do whatever he wanted. He would not have lost business. There's no way. But
it was funny because I was trying to read about this movie because I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I was reading it, and they said that the guy who wrote it and made it, there was no supernatural anything in the original script at all. And then when he was filming it, he decided to give it to him, and everybody's like, why? Like nobody understands, like, why does he have magic powers? He doesn't need them. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And he's like, just do it.
Yep.
So he did it, and it just became part of the mythos. But like, it just happened because the director wanted it to happen. There wasn't any reason.
But I mean, there's no other movie like this for it. So
no, right? It's very weird.
And like after I keep calling wanting to call her the name from That 70s Show because she played Donna's mom on That 70s Show. Tanya Roberts.
Okay. No. That is not where she's from.
Charlie's Angels, I know.
No. We're talking the thing that she was from that will forever be burned into my mind where I know her.
Beastmaster.
That's fucking right. I watched Beastmaster like 10,000 times as a kid. Like I watched this movie and I was like, I know her from somewhere. Where do I know her from? Like I know those eyes from somewhere, and I couldn't figure it out. And like I looked it up. I was like, it's the fucking Beastmaster. I like that's where I know her from. So yes, no, she was in the Beastmaster, and I know her because I've seen that movie way too many times.
Yeah. But when she and Jerry escapes, Jerry just like nopes the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
He like jumps to the window and just runs. It begs the question, did he escape? Is he the mannequin? Was he a mannequin then? Or did he just leave? And this is all in her head.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Once you get into supernatural territory, nothing's answered. Like,
correct.
You don't know for sure.
Yeah. And that's all I got. How about you?
Okay. So, I mean, mannequins and wax, statues are creepy, right? So that's fun. We already talked about Tanya Roberts and Becky and her role in the Beastmaster. Now the dad, the guy, I'm like, I know that guy too. Like he's like a big actor. Like how did he end up in this fucking movie? But anyway, that's Chuck Connors. He's been in a ton of stuff. I think his biggest role was like he was the rifleman in the old TV show, The Rifleman, the Western, the 50s black and white Western TV show. Which was huge. He was the main guy. He was in like fucking Old Yeller. He was in Soylent Green. I mean, he's been in tons of shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how he ended up in this movie. Like, how did he get here? Being as weird and wacky as that character is, like for Chuck Connors to do that is just very strange. Maybe he was at that point in his career when he was like, either he one needed the money or two just wanted to play goofy shit, right?
Right.
Sometimes people get in that. We're like, I'm just gonna do some weird shit.
Yeah.
Like Nicolas Cage.
He also does it for the money too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But he only picks things that are weird.
Right.
On purpose.
Yep.
We already talked about Linnea Quigley. Again, I looked. I couldn't. I couldn't spot her.
Nope.
Again, I already talked about when he gets. Oh, I gotta go get dressed up, and he comes back and he looks like a fucking cartoon version of Bruce Campbell. I'm like, wow, that is like uncanny. But I think like the villain is like genuinely disturbing, right? Like he's fucking weird. Like that's the kind of guy you don't want to be near at all. Like some weird shit's gonna happen. Like he's gonna sit you down and make you have like tea with him, and then just like accidentally tear your head off with his magic powers and laugh about it.
Hell yeah!
Like that's not fun. And then like I guess the ending is like bizarre and weird, and it just like it kind of like, oh, it's this happy note, but it's like her and three corpses in a car, and then it just cuts out.
Yep.
It's interesting. That's all I got. All right. For high points, low points.
Yes.
Holy shit, that intro music and all the music in this movie is fucking terrible. Like the intro music sounds like clown music. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What movie is this? Okay, in the beginning when the guy was rolling the tire down the street, it clearly was full of air. It was bouncing.
Correct. And a tire that doesn't have air in it is pretty light. Like he was taking forever just rolling it a little bit and slapping it.
Right. But like you could hear it. Like they left the sound of a fully inflated tire bouncing in the film. I'm like, and she very clearly says, oh, our tire he forgot to put air in the spare, so he's going to get air in the spare. Like it's already full. Like, did he find another gas station and fill it up, and now he's going further?
I don't know.
It was just there's like that air clearly has air in it.
Yeah.
So the telekinesis stuff. I'm just like, okay, because like I said, they make a point of like saying in the beginning like he was a master of animatronics. I'm like, maybe that was from like the original script, and they just didn't bother taking it out. But they just decided to, he's just telekinetic. We don't need animatronics. But like, why did you mention it then?
Right.
It's kind of weird. I mean, sometimes the villain is like weirdly corny and monotone. I mean, it's disturbing for sure, but it gets old sometimes.
Yes.
Now when he was putting plaster on her face, I don't know what the consistency of that plaster was, but it was like, bread that hasn't risen enough is like what he was doing. I'm like, that's not what plaster looks like. Like, I don't know what kind of weird, like airy, fluffy plaster texture that was, but it was bothering me. And the weird comedy, like again, when he was having this scene where he was like eating soup with one of the corpses and he was like giggling and shit, and, like accidentally like knocking body parts off and laughing about it. Bizarre and weird, and I guess it's kind of like good and bad in equal measure. Yeah, that's all I got.
Oh yeah, for sure. Music, hands down, that's just atrocious. We talked about this. It's like that time period. Like, wasn't Grizzly just like absurd, like circus music as well in the late 70s for a horror movie?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't know if they didn't quite figure out how to do soundtracks at that point.
No, but it's awful. I think it took Argento to come along to show him how to do it.
I guess.
And I know it's the desert and stuff like that, but that car, like, the car you could pretty much take apart, right? The windshield's down. Like, this is the 70s. There's bugs everywhere. Like, you are eating bugs your entire drive. I couldn't have it down. That would just be annoying to me. I like when Tanya is like, she's getting attacked by the mannequins and she got like a little bit scuffed up and then they fell on her, which somehow knocked her unconscious. They just gently laid on her and she's like, and she's out.
Yeah, she was exhausted. It was a hard day.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, and he is Timu Leatherface, hands down. Like, he to the point, even like he knows he's an alternate personality. So like he knows this is a thing, and like he gives the girl a gun. It's like, you see anything, shoot it. And he comes out in his alter ego and bam, shot her twice with blanks. And talk about teleportation. Holy crap. He just appears like fucking everywhere. She's slowly wading in the water, and then there he is right behind her without making a single noise. And is able to do that.
Well, he's also got telekinetic powers. So we're in magic territory. So why not just push it?
He has to have telepathy too, because telekinesis is just moving things. Telepathy would like be able to go into people's mind and make them see all this.
If you can make someone see a mannequin as a real person, then yes, you have mind control powers, not just telekinesis.
Yeah, which is just bizarre. It absolutely is bizarre. It just, like, oh look, and then there's the Indian that just happens to throw a hatchet, and I don't know. It's a weird movie that surprisingly has never gotten remade. I'm surprised.
I found an article where they're talking about remaking it. Like somebody has like optioned it. They haven't talked about actually doing it, but they're thinking about it.
Yeah, but this I can see why this movie got lost in the mix between Halloween and Friday the 13th. Like,
right.
The year between like two huge horror things. But that's all I have. I will go first for wax dips out of 10. It's not a fantastic movie. I don't know if I ever need to watch it again, quite honestly. I will give it 5 wax dips out of 10. How about you?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same. It's like, it's not. I've seen worse, right? Oh, yeah. There's some interesting things here, especially being in 1979. It's pretty early for a lot of this stuff. A lot of this stuff doesn't show up till later, but it's not particularly well done. It's interesting seeing, some old actors that I know in it and stuff, but not something I would really want to watch again. So yeah, I think 5 is a good place for it to live.
Okay, well then, Tag Team Waxwork from 1988. Once again, not a whole lot happens in this movie plot wise. Essentially, a waxwork just comes up and people are like, hell yeah, guys, like, yeah, I'm having a midnight showing. I need you 2 girls to bring 4 other people, no more than 6. Remember, no more than 6. So we get to be introduced to a group of people. Let's call them, I don't know, do you want to call him, do you say he's a punk? One of the guys that disappears like half the movie initially of the group of 6 with his girl.
No, none of them are punks.
Zach, whatever, is from Gremlins, right? He plays.
I was like, he's in another movie.
A few actually, but yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he's not known for anything outside of Gremlins.
Yeah. He's playing just let's call him spoiled rich boy because he is to the point where his mom doesn't let him drink coffee and he has to drink his milk before he goes to college. Weird line,
College, quote unquote. Like that is clearly high school.
correct, but it's just bizarre family setting. But eventually, they find their way to the waxworks. It's just a pop up, it's a random house, and they go there. And well, as you get ventured into this weird world, I think when one of the Munchkins from Wizard of Oz and Weird Lurch, like, oh, hey, let's just see in what's behind this, velvet rope, and they get transported to the scene of whatever the macabre scene is. Like, and look, here's John Rhys Davis as a werewolf, and now he's a werewolf, and the guy turns into the werewolf, and now he's part of the waxwork museum. Another girl essentially is a vampire, who's eating chunks of people and blood, which is not how vampires work. Maybe wax vampires.
Depends. It depends on the depiction. Again, every movie that has classic monsters, especially vampires, they remake the rules in every film. But there are some versions of vampires, like especially in like Eastern cultures, where like lower tier vampires have to consume the flesh. It's not until they're like the higher tier, like whatever. Like you get up in the I don't know, the rankings of the vampire world, and then you can graduate from consuming flesh to just drinking blood. And then in that world, again, you can level up again and go from drinking blood to just absorbing chi through the body. You don't need to consume anything at all. You just steal the energy without consuming anything. But that's in the Eastern culture. And again, and our Western culture, eating the flesh is not known as a vampire thing.
It looks like they made gazpacho.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, right. So they kind of just disappear and no one really knows what happened. Like, that's weird. So the two other friends just like noped out of there as well. And they go to the police, and the police like, hey, that's weird. Why would it be like in the middle of downtown? Blah, blah, blah. And he goes there and he ends up in one of them as well. And he's like, oh yeah, we're trying to figure out what this evil plan is. There's this whole subplot where like the guy who runs Waxworks, like, oh, he's in this picture from like 50 years ago. He killed your grandpa and he looks exactly the same. That's weird. Huh. Says, some professor, I guess.
I don't know.
Old man in the wheelchair.
But sure. It's okay. The guy is Gremlins dude's like uncle.
Yeah.
Because his grandfather died. So this, quote unquote uncle guy was the one that worked with his grandfather. And because he's the guy who like did work with his grandfather when he was researching his grandfather's history, he went to him. And then that's when he also found out that like this dude, his uncle guy, is also like this crusader that fights against evil things. And that they find out that this wax museum is an evil thing, so that they're going to help them fight.
Yeah. So eventually they kind of go back. Another girl gets like, stabbed to death, essentially, I feel like. Or like almost like a Frankenstein or cannibal stuff. Another guy comes back. He's in like, clearly, a swashbuckling thing. Another girl's getting whipped by a guy, and like Zach was like, hey, I'm able to pretty much move in and out of these. As long as I realize these aren't real, I can move in and out of these waxworks scenes. He ends up in like a classic Romero zombie movie. Briefly, he's able to escape, gets the girl from being whipped. And just about when all hope seems lost, a angry mob shows up as they have, the waxwork says, we have to have 6 souls to add up to 18, blah, blah, blah. 18 divided by 6, the uncle's like, what's 18 divided by 3? He goes, 6, 6, 6. No, it's just 6. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, it's just 6.
It's not 6 repeating. Yeah. And so they all show up and they start fighting because all the waxworks come to life because they got all the souls they needed. So then they just have like sword fights and start stabbing the waxwork people and werewolves. And
right. I think the best part is the uncle guy who's in a wheelchair shows up, and like somebody very clearly like taped cardboard to the side and front of his wheelchair to make it look like, I don't know, like a little armored sidecar or something. I don't know, but it's clearly just taped on cardboard, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like the last 25 minutes of the movie is this mob fight scene that's happening, or at least it feels like it. To the point where the uncle's like, "Hey, I'm saving you. There's this guy, get him," and then the werewolf comes up and just rips his head off.
Right.
Yeah, and
then and he has a long, drawn out like cat and mouse sword fight with the Marquis de Sade for some reason.
Yeah, because like he was being honorable, but he gets the best of him, and then the guy's like, "Haha, I'm gonna get you," and then he ends up falling into the wax, another wax dip, and it comes back out, haha, and then another wax dip, and end the movie. Yeah.
Right.
And there's a sequel to this thing.
Right.
Oh boy. I had never. I felt like I'd seen this, but I don't remember any of the things from this movie, especially the 25-minute mob scene at the end. And like this is just like a poor remake of House of Wax, is what it felt like to me.
I mean, I don't know. It didn't take itself too seriously. It's a goofy, thing. I liked how it separated into like the different little kind of mini vignettes, where it's like it could go like anywhere in space and time to like show you these little, mini, adventures kind of thing. I didn't think it was that bad.
Well, I like that John Rhys Davis was like third billing, and he's only in it for like
he's in it for like Well, again, even Gremlins guy was in it.
Yeah, but we know that he wasn't in that werewolf costume. There's no way in hell he was.
No, I doubt it. He would have been talking in his voice through the werewolf clothes if that was the case.
Oh, for sure. Why don't you go first for your highlights?
Yeah, Gremlins guy was in another movie. Who knew? Again, I'm sure he's been in other movies. I just don't know them.
He's in Waxwork too.
Oh boy. Again, the wax exhibits were fun, right?
Yes.
It's like the goofy monster makeup. There's some of those that like I wanted to see, like, what would happen if you went into theirs. Like there was like the Frankenstein one that was like an interesting kind of like undead version of Frankenstein. It looked fun.
There was like Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, it was like Jack the Ripper. That was like the weird like snake boy in like the circus cart.
Mm-hmm.
There was like that weird monster. There's a couple of them. I'm like, these are kind of cool. Like, why don't you jump in those? But no, they keep jumping in like the generic ass ones.
Yep.
But and some of those were fun. I thought the makeup and stuff was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gimli is the big head werewolf. Like that, the head on that werewolf is so big. I don't know.
Huge.
It's like a gigantic like beach ball with like furry ears on it. It's so weird looking. But it's fun. But again, I like the format. The little vignettes, the little adventures, to separate everything out. I thought it was interesting. That's all I got.
Yeah. Yeah, my highlights. I as I said before, a waxwork would be fun to visit. I want one.
I wish, dude. Like, if somebody came up to me and was like, "I want to have a wax display, and you only can come at midnight," I would totally be there.
Oh, easily been there. Like I said, the supporting cast was pretty stacked in comparison to the lead cast. Like, I knew the supporting cast more than the main cast, right? Yeah, obviously the evil guy, he's been in so many things. I lost track. And you said the vignettes, I call them like they're fun homages. Like you felt like he was in a George Romero Night of the Living Dead situation, right? You felt like that they were, they said they had those little scenes of it as just ways to like get the 6 people. As you said, give me more of it. Maybe Waxwork 2, Lost in Time will give us more. I hope so. That's all I really got. I'll go into my low points. I don't think the actor pulls off the asshole character very well. Zach Gallion.
I don't. He's not supposed to be an asshole. He's just supposed to be a kind of like a spoiled rich kid who kind of, and that's what's weird is like he's supposed to have a redemption story, but he really doesn't.
No, not at all.
Like, because his story is essentially like, spoiled rich kid that really wants to date some girl, right?
Yep.
The girl is like totally like has nothing to do with him and is literally boning other dudes and then telling him about it.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm upset. I really like her. And then, like, you know, the quote unquote virgin girl ends up liking him. And he's like, oh, cool. I like her. And then she goes and gets like, finds her own thing that she enjoys. And he basically makes her stop doing that and to go with him again. Like he learns nothing. And at the end, there's no redemption. They make it feel like, oh, look, he's a redemption. He's a better person, but he's not. He's the exact same person he was.
Yeah. Let's call it Nazi college class.
Yeah, no shit, dude. It was like they had like a little swastikas on the flag, like the guys doing the Heil Hitler. Like, wow, this is a bold choice.
Yeah. The music is kind of zany in this as well.
Well, at least this one's a clear comedy. Like Tourist Trap was not, but it was playing off like the music was comedic.
Yeah. I'd say the acting for the most part was not good.
It's correct.
And I really did not care for the Bob ending in the slightest. Like, okay, just all swashbucklers. The guy with his wheelchair with his cardboard cuts, like his 5-year-old great nephew did for him.
Right. Like, I mean, very clear. We all know what the real ending should have been, is where he tricks the bad guy to go into one of his own exhibits and then gets killed by them. That's what should have happened.
Yes.
But instead we get this bizarre, hero mob thing. I don't understand.
I'm not sure stabbing a wax figure that comes to life would do anything to it.
Well, I don't know. Did they actually come to life?
It's hard to say. I don't know what the guy's evil plan really is, other than to bring him to life. And his uncle going, it's like, well, if one gets out, the entire world will be doomed in like days. I'm like, from what?
Well, okay. So you kind of had to read between the lines a little bit, but the guy killed the grandpa and stole all of those medallions. And all of those medallions, he basically called on the power of all of those evil spirits to get power and immortality. But in return, he has to give them 18 souls, and he has a certain amount of time to do it. And so that's why he has 6 left, and he's like on the clock because he has a certain time limit to do it in. And if he does it, then they come back to life. If he doesn't do it, then everybody dies, including him.
Well, you'd also think, though, that he'd want more than 6 people just in case one doesn't go right.
Well, and again, the dude's been around for 50 years.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck have you been doing? Like, you only got 12 people in 50 years? Like, and you very clearly can mass produce this shit because you just did.
Yep.
I don't know. It's a bizarre situation for sure.
Yeah. Well, those are my love points. How about yours?
Yeah, again, we talked about the fucking Nazi swastika class. Like, the dude was like very clearly like pro-Nazi. I was like, this is a bold stance to take in this film because it was like full on Nazi stuff
with the accent and everything.
Yeah. I mean, again, college ? It was high school. Like, that's not high school. Like, or that's not college. The people don't like sit on the bleachers and watch like football people play in college. That's not a thing.
No.
Like, you don't sit around and talk about your boyfriends and girlfriends and people that you like and shit and college. And no, this is high school.
Yeah.
There is constant smoking in this movie.
Yes, there is.
Like, every character smokes and every character is constantly smoking. So I don't know if like the guy that made this had like a smoking fetish or something, but like literally people are chain smoking the entire thing. Now, again, I alluded to this before, like, the dude, the rich kid, is like upset. Like, this quote unquote virgin girl, likes him, and he's like putting the moves on her, and he's like, oh yeah, like the virgin girl likes me, and I'm gonna totally like mold her into what I want her to be. Is the attitude that he gave off, right?
Yes.
But since the beginning, she was like interested in the what is it, 100,000 Days of Sodom or whatever the Marquis de Sade's book, and she's like, oh, this is really interesting, like what these people did. Like, doesn't that sound interesting? Like, she's very clearly into this, right? So when she sees the Marquis de Sade like in the wax museum, she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get me a piece of this. And she goes in there and she is fucking all about it. We saw from the other vignettes, you're not mind controlled when you go in this thing.
Right.
Right? You are still yourself. You can choose to go along with it or not, but you are still you. You are not controlled when you jump into it. You're just put in that situation.
Right.
She jumps in that situation. What does she do? Volunteers to be whipped to death by the Marquis de Sade and is enjoying every minute of it.
Yeah, he goes to rescue her. He's like, yeah, no, I'm saying.
Yeah, she's like, nope, I don't want to be rescued. I want to be whipped to death by the Marquis de Sade. He's just essentially kink shaming her. That's what it is. She wants to get whipped. Like, the guy was literally talking about how she orgasmed from being whipped.
Yep.
Like, that, she is very into this. And the guy comes in like, no, you have to be my virgin girlfriend. Let's go. And like, somehow convinces her to come out of it. Like, they're trying to pretend like, oh, she was brainwashed. No, nobody else in any of these other adventures was brainwashed. They were themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So this was her. This was the true her wanted to be whipped, and that was her sexual fantasy. And her sexual fantasy gets ruined by this spoiled rich kid who doesn't want her to do that and wants her to come be with his little virgin girlfriend. I was very upset. I was like, this is a terrible story. Again, like, this is, quote unquote, his redemption story. Like, no, this guy's just an asshole.
Yep.
And he wants things his own way, and he gets them at the end. It's like they try to play it like he's sword fighting the Marquis de Sade, like, for her soul or something. Like, she just wants to be whipped, man. Like, that's all it is. She just wants to be whipped. You don't want to do it for her, so she's going to the pro to get it done, right?
Yep.
And I don't know. The whole thing was just bothering me. After that point, I was just tuned out of the film. I'm like, this is bullshit. So, like, that was even before the mob thing happened. So when the mob thing happened, I was like, this is just icing on the shit cake, right?
Yep.
This is just dumb. But, like, yeah, that kink shaming I did not like that. Did not like it at all. And yeah, the ending was way too fucking long.
Yes.
Period.
All right. So how many wax tips out of 10 do you give Waxworks from 1988?
I didn't hate this movie. I thought I would, especially like watching the beginning of it. I was like, I'm gonna fucking despise this movie. I didn't hate it as much as I thought it did. There's some fun things going on here. I hate the ending.
Yes,
I think the ending is fucking stupid. But I think up until that movie, it has a lot of potential. It's pretty fun. But I mean, do I want to watch it again? Not really. But it's up there. I'll give it a 6.25.
6.25. Yeah, I mean, it's of the three, it's the second best. It's the middle ground here. I definitely agree with that. I'm interested in watching Waxwork 2, just to see where it goes from here. Right? Does he still gonna be the same spoiled brat? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I will give this though a solid 6.75 wax tips out of 10. It's a different, interesting premise. Like I said, I was a vignette. I mean, hell, you could do had made this in a whole anthology series of the different macabre scenes, and that'd been okay with it.
Right? Yeah, because I mean, the rapper is. I think they have too much rapper.
Yes, they do.
I think they need to remove some of the rapper and have another vignette, show the cop guy getting attacked by the Ripper or whatever. That would have been fun.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many more interesting things that it could have gone. But we'll see. All right. Anything else to add to tonight's episode?
No.
All right. Well, we are once again craving some more. So grab your soul, take that midnight flight as we do another Wes Craven director spotlight. We don't have any more of these to do of his. We're almost there, aren't we?
For Wes Craven?
Yeah. Is he the Ward?
I mean, yeah, I'd have to do research to find more. Wait, what did you say?
Is the Ward? Is that John Carpenter or is that Wes Craven?
The War?
The Ward.
The Ward. Yeah. I think that was John Carpenter.
All right. Well, then, yeah, we might be just at the end of Wes Craven's videography here. And then we'll be looking at Deadly Friend, Red Eye, and My Soul to Take with our next director spotlight. I haven't seen any of these.
I've actually seen Red Eye.
I started watching it when it came out, and I never finished it.
It was on. Sometimes you go into Netflix and they have a like an older movie on
Mhm.
Spotlight, and I was just like looking for something to watch, and it was like, Red Eye. I'm like, oh, okay. It was, yeah, it was all right.
I feel like this was Cillian Murphy's movie right after 28 Days Later.
Probably. Yeah, it's the same era for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, I'm excited. I'm excited. Like I said, I know one scene, Deadly Friend, just because it's on every list. Nice.
The other two I have not seen. Red Eye I have seen.
Okay. I'm excited though. All right. Well, remember, we watch bad movies, so you don't have to. And this has been Graveyard saying, "Have you checked in the children?"
This is Salem saying, "Long live the."